What up, guys? Breaking news here. Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. Carolina Panthers have fired head coach Frank Reich. Before the end of his first season. They should have listened to me. Told you it was a bad hire when they did it. John Serrain won the rigged hat this week. Going after Hart. Well, you know what? Maybe. How do you get arrested for using a vibrator? She must have been using it in public. That's the only way. It's not just the Ohio State fans that want Ryan Day fired. It's some of the former players, too. Well, at least one. Maurice Clarett. John Gruden to Indiana. He could get a better job than Indiana. I think. Hell, I don't know. How about John Gruden to Duke? Shout out to Mike Elko. Well, he's catching hell. Because he said a couple of weeks ago he didn't have any interest in the A&M job. I'm happy in Durham. My wife's happy in Durham. Blah, blah, blah. Well, anybody who's got a wife knows she'll move to the moon if you're going to pay him $100 million to do it. Yeah, Gruden to the Vols. No, look. No offense to Duke, man, but that's not a destination job. It's just not. I mean, I think he's going to do well at A&M. We'll see what kind of staff he hires. We're going to start seeing a whole wave of decommits from this upcoming signing class. You know, guys that were going to Duke. I mean, he was recruiting pretty well for Duke. I'm hoping maybe the Tigers can snatch up one or two of them. No, I don't blame Elko at all. Yeah, the whole Stoops thing was pretty interesting. You know, I mean, I thought that Stoops would have been a good hire too. I think either one of those guys, Elko or Stoops, would have been a good hire for A&M. But here's A&M's problem. They typically go after the big name, and they look at Kentucky's record, and they're not impressed by it. Well, you should be impressed by him winning 8 games a year at Kentucky. I mean, do you guys remember what shape Kentucky was in before Stoops took that job? Yeah, they were awful. Well, Volusia, I think that there's still a good pitch to get wide receiver. Well, I mean, we've got a 5-star coming in this class, Wesco. I mean, it's still one of the premier programs in the country. I mean, yeah, jury's out on Randall. And God bless Antonio Williams. He's very good, but guy can't stay healthy. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Shipley. Where's the jury at on number 2? You mean a number 2 wide receiver? Well, where's the jury on number 1? Are we saying it's Tyler Brown? I guess it is. Or Bo Collins. I don't know. It's probably... Oh, Klubnik. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Well... he's your starter next year. I know that. At least week 1 and week 2 he is. And unless he goes out there and just completely shits the bed, I think he's your starter all of next year, honestly. What's up, Zona? Yeah, there another one that can't stay healthy, Turner. I would have no idea if Turner's it or not because he hasn't played enough. I mean, this is... How many games has he played? Like full games? What, 3? I don't know. Everyone was super excited about Noble Johnson coming in this year, too. And I mean, he was on a milk carton. He had like 1 catch all year. What's up, Vic? I mean, he's a true freshman, but still. What's up, MAGA Dog? I don't know. I guess maybe if you don't want to include South Carolina in the SEC because... Well, you want to hear a crazy stat. Some of you may know this. South Carolina has only beat Clemson in their own stadium 5 times in my life. Since 1980. 5. Shit, 3 of those had to have been Spurrier. Yeah, the last 23 years, Clemson is 17-5 in Williams-Brice Stadium. And the reason it's not 17-6 is because we didn't play in 2020. What's wrong with the volume?
A magic wall of the space seed.
"43 years. I'm not 45, I'm 43. Well, turn your volume up then, Rick, or get a new phone. I don't know what to tell you. No one else has a problem hearing me. Yeah, 23 games would be, except we didn't play in 2020, so it's only 22. Got some good games this weekend, though. I haven't looked at the lines yet. Oh, by the way, tonight the Lunch Money Show is going to be on this, not this channel, my other channel. But it's going to be on my channel, not Uncle Lou's, because he's out of town. And we'll look at the lines there, but How much is Oregon going to be favored over Washington? I would actually be happy with Jim Harbaugh to the Panthers. That would actually be a good hire, I think. I'm not confident that David Tepper is going to make a good hire. I don't think the guy has a clue what he's doing. Where is Clemson projected to go for a bowl game right now? I don't know. The Holiday Bowl, I heard. I heard the Sun Bowl. I guess there's a chance they could play Oregon State, which would be fun. I think there's a chance they could play Arizona, which I'm not against. Somebody brought it to my attention yesterday, said, what about Kentucky? I guess I'd be okay with that. Just because it's an SEC team, but I think Clemson's better than them. And they had a couple of bowl games earlier in the 2000s that were pretty good. What's up, Slim? Hey, John, did you? I haven't even checked. Well, actually, I did check. I don't think I saw it. Did you send me your mailing address and everything? Yeah. Alabama did not look good on Saturday. Boy, that was a crazy game. Looking, Auburn folded like a lawn chair. Yeah, send it today because I'm going to go to the post office probably tomorrow. Yeah, Slim got himself a new 70-inch TV. I saw it on Twitter. What's up, C-Dog? I've got a 65-inch in my living room. I saw the picture of where you mounted that TV. You're right. It's not going to fit anywhere else. Even if it was 71 inches, it wouldn't fit. Which one of these conference championship games is most likely to be an upset? So you got Texas, Oklahoma State in the Big 12. You got Washington and Oregon in the Pac-12. You got Louisville and Florida State in the ACC. Alabama, Georgia in the SEC. And Michigan and Iowa in the Big 10. Think Louisville? Yeah, I think that's probably right. A close second would, well, I don't know if there is a close second actually. I mean, Michigan's going to destroy Iowa. Iowa might not score unless they score a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown or something. I mean, I think Oregon's going to destroy Washington. When I say destroy, I don't mean by like 3 touchdowns. I think they'll win by 2 scores, at least 10 points, 11 points, something like that. I don't know what to think about Oklahoma State and Texas, because Oklahoma State, when they're playing well, they could win that game. But you never know which one of those teams is going to show up from week to week. And yes, I think Texas is a better team. But that's why it would be an upset. I'm actually, as somebody who has no investment in the playoff this year, I just want to see chaos. I want to see the meltdown on selection day of who the fifth team is. I don't know. We're going to look at that in a minute. We'll go through all the coach firings. I'm sure the news is loaded with them. Let's go ahead and get to that. We'll turn this music off. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We'll look at the news and college football. I'm sure there's a ton of it with all the new hires and firings and all of that. There's also some rumors that that Notre Dame is shopping around for a coordinator as well. Let's see who's in here, though. Colby, Matt Dummett, Anthony Swift, Third and Nate, Jeremy Garrettson, Jay Shipes, John Serrain, Volusia, Nature Boy. I think I already said Matt. Seminole Seth, Arizona Tucson, Wet Blanket, VicTube Productions, Ultra Magadog, Rick, Brad Pitt, Anthony Swift, Millis Vanillis. Did you guys see Millis Vanillis' video yesterday? Was that yesterday? I think it was. I hope you were wearing some underwear in that video. Man took a bath. Not only take a bath, he took a bubble bath. And not only did he take a bubble bath, he took a bubble bath in wearing shoulder pads, no shirt, shoulder pads, and a leather helmet. And, of course, he trashed Auburn the entire time. He was, and also, while he was trashing Auburn, he wasn't just sitting in the bathtub, he was actually washing himself. Which was kind of disturbing, I'm not going to lie. Where was I? Slim Shady Canes, Sea Dog, Cody, D. Taylor, Jalen Milroe was screaming for Heisman after a miracle. Yeah, I saw that. That was weird. Does somebody have the heart to tell him he's not even going to get invited to New York, let alone win it? What's up, Michael? You hope who loses? Oh, you mean all the conference? Yeah, but yeah, because you're an Ohio State fan. That's right. All right, let's check out the news and read some, what was yesterday supposed to be? Black Sunday is what they call it?
Breaking news from the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel.
The 4-team era of the college football playoff is going out with a bang. Yes, it is. Eight Power 5 teams have one loss or fewer after the regular season. That's a playoff era record, which is going to cause some chaos for sure. There's no doubt about that. If you think the race for the CFP feels crowded, your intuition is correct. 8 Power 5 teams enter conference championship weekend with one loss or fewer. Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State are all 12-0. Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama are all 11-1. It's the first time in the history of the 4-team playoff that 8 Power 5 teams have made it through a full regular season with one loss or fewer. The previous record was in 2019 when 7 teams finished the regular season at 11-1. Clemson, LSU, and Ohio State were undefeated, entering their conference championship games with 4 teams that stood at 11-1. All right. This year, the selection process will not be that easy. There's a plausible scenario where Michigan ends the season as the only undefeated team, while 7 teams lurk for the 3 remaining playoff spots at either 12-1 or 11-1. Or even more likely, there could be 2 or 3 undefeated teams remaining and a group of 3 or more teams with one loss. Yeah, and any way you slice that, it's, you know, I know every year the 5th team feels like they should have, you know, been in instead of the 4th team, but I think you're going to see more than, you might even see this year, the 5th, 6th, and 7th team all think that they should be in the 4th spot. So, there you go. Before we move on to the coaches here, here's the nightmare scenario for the SEC. Let's see the mental gymnastics that's done here. A team from the SEC has won the national championship 13 of the last 17 years, including 4 consecutive. The list includes 5 different schools: Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, and LSU. From the BCS to the college football playoff, the league has been dominant. On 3 occasions, both teams in the title game came from the SEC. In other words, you can't have a playoff without at least one SEC team, can you? Well, college football final season with 4-team playoff and expansive 12-team playoff format takes over next year. Could create just that kind of chaos that would cause the unthinkable. Right now, 2 SEC teams are still in reasonable contention for a playoff spot. Number 1, Georgia, and number 8, Alabama. They play each other Saturday in Atlanta. If Georgia wins, they're obviously in. The Bulldogs have won a title in each of the last 2 seasons, blah, 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 29-game winning streak. We know all that. What if Alabama wins, though? What does that mean? They would leave 12-1 Georgia and 12-1 Alabama, which would be official SEC champs. If the Tide beat the Dogs, the scenario that could doom the mighty SEC is such. Michigan beats Iowa. Washington beats Oregon. Well, there you go. That's not happening, probably. Florida State beats Louisville. Texas beats Oklahoma State. Out of all those, only Washington is considered an underdog. Michigan and Washington would be in, leaving 2 spots for 4 teams. 13-0 Florida State, 12-1 Texas, 12-1 Alabama, and 12-1 Georgia. And I know where they're going with this. They're saying there's no way that an undefeated conference champ, which would be Florida State, would get left out, so they get the 3rd spot. And if you're comparing Texas, Alabama, and Georgia, Alabama has a win over Georgia. Georgia wouldn't have a conference championship, and Texas beat Alabama. So that's the scenario they're laying out. Again, for that to happen, all of those things have to happen, which is very unlikely. The most unlikely thing is that Washington beats Oregon, in my opinion. And probably the second most likely thing is that Florida State beats Louisville. And that's only because of Florida State's quarterback situation. I'm not saying Florida State can't win or won't win. And also, it's probably unlikely that Alabama beats Georgia, if you're asking me. But normally, Florida State would be a shoo-in as an undefeated Power 5 conference champion. However, the Seminoles lost star quarterback Jordan Travis to injury 2 weeks ago and needed a big comeback to defeat 5-7 Florida team on Saturday. If they barely beat Louisville, would the so-called eye test come in and haunt Florida State? Well, according to the committee, and you have to take what they say with a grain of salt because they changed their mind like they changed their underwear on what they use as a gauge to rank these teams. But the number one criteria is wins and losses. So you only go to the eye test when you're comparing two teams that that have the same record. In this scenario, there would be a bunch of one-loss teams behind them, so they wouldn't have the same record. But again, yeah, you can only take what they say with a grain of salt because they'll twist whatever way they want to make to justify whatever their pick is. And there's a million different ways they can do that. Perhaps it's hard to argue that a Travis-less Florida State team is one of the best 4 teams in the country, as the playoff is charged with determining that. It seems unfathomable that the playoff committee would keep an undefeated ACC champion out, doing so against everything we've seen from the committee's work in the past 9 years. And that's where I fall with that. At some point, winning games has to matter. So we think Florida State is in. Whoever he's writing for, or she. That leaves the 12-1 Longhorns, who happened to have defeated Alabama 34-24 in Tuscaloosa back in September. That should give Texas an edge over the Tide. Head-to-head should matter after all. And since it's Alabama that beats Georgia in this scenario, then the Horns should have an edge over Georgia. We beat the team that beat you. I don't know if that matters. The team that we beat the team that beat you matters. The transitive property, but I think the fact that Texas would have a conference championship and Georgia wouldn't, that would be more important. As much as I would like to see this chaos play out, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. But we'll see. Like I said, this is like a lot of mental gymnastics going on here. Texas A&M hires Duke coach Mike Elko to replace Jimbo Fisher. I am not surprised about this at all. The Houston Chronicle first reported Sunday that Texas A&M was expected to hire Elko as their head coach. Elko left the Aggies to take his first head coaching job at Duke after the 2021 season and went 15-8 in 2 seasons. That's pretty damn good at Duke. The Blue Devils had won just 10 games combined in the 3 previous years. Elko, who had stints as defensive coordinator at Wake Forest and Notre Dame, led defenses that ranked in the top 3 of the Southeastern Conference in his final 2 seasons with A&M. This season at Duke, Elko led the Blue Devils to a 4-0 start, but they struggled after quarterback Riley Leonard was injured at the end of a close game, close loss to Notre Dame. Reports of Stoops, but that didn't get done. Stoops even posted a statement on social media acknowledging that he had been contacted by another school about a quote-unquote potential opportunity, but saying he would be staying put. He did not mention Texas A&M by name. We know that's who it was, though. I think Stoops has the best job in football. Him and Mike Gundy. But actually, Stoops might be. I didn't realize till somebody told me this on Saturday. He's making like $9 million a year, Mike Stoops is. That's insane for an 8-win team every year. I'm not saying he's not worth it. I'm just saying, I mean, if you can get paid $9 million a year and never be on the hot seat for winning 7 or 8 games, I don't know why you would leave. I mean, you go to Texas A&M and you have 3 bad seasons. They're gonna now you'll get rich because they're going to pay you out a bunch of a bunch of buyout money. But there's something to be said for stress level. The stress level at Kentucky is a lot lower than it is at Texas A&M. Oh. Well, I think it's a good hire. Year 2 under Brent Venables shows improvement, but still a long way to go. Somebody asked earlier about Clemson's bowl projections. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Clemson and Oklahoma. The regular season has come to a close for the Oklahoma Sooners. Soon, let's take a look at where the program is at now compared to a season ago. Fresh off of a 6-7 year in year 1, many nationally were wondering if the Sooners had the right man to lead them into the best conference in college football, the SEC. The Sooners needed a bounce-back season to show college football world they're bigger than their previous coach. The standard for many years was to get 9-3 or 10-2 and show improvements on both sides of the ball. In 2022, the Sooners finished number 13 in yards per game, number 42 in passing offense, number 10 in rushing offense, and number 25 in scoring offense. In 2023, they finished 4th in yards, 6th in passing offense, 39 in rushing offense, and 3 in scoring offense. Safe to say the offense was much improved from year 1 to year 2, or year 2 to year 1. But what about the defense? Defense is Brent Venables, where he hangs his hat. So how much improvement was made on that side of the ball? In 2022, the defense finished 122nd in yards per game, 119th in passing yards allowed, 106th in rushing defense, and 90th in scoring defense. Yeah, that's awful. And this year, the Sooners finished number 80 in yards allowed, 99 in passing yards allowed, 57th in rushing defense, and 41st in scoring defense. So they're better across the board, but was it a big jump, as a lot of Sooner fans would have liked? No. But don't forget how bad that it was. That's a pretty solid jump from where it was. The numbers can be deceiving. You can allow a lot of yards when the game isn't close. Some people believe the real tell is how good an offense or a defense is, how efficient they are. So let's compare last year to this year in terms of efficiency. According to the end-of-season SP Plus rankings, and look what they have in parentheses there, subscription required. So they're not going to let me read the SP Plus rankings without paying them. But you're about to tell me anyway, aren't you? So why would I do that? The Sooners finished number 10 in offense, number 70 in defense, number 20 in 2022. In 2023, they finished 6th in offense, 33 in defense, and 13th overall. Again, it's an improvement across the board. All in all, the Sooners made a lot of progress in 2023, but they have a long way to go as they head to the SEC. I'm not going to read the rest of this article. Yeah, I mean, we all saw we all saw their season. There's no doubt they were a much better team this year than they were last year. Now, again, they're changing conferences. So we'll see how they do next year. Now, this is the first I've read of this. Who will be the next Duke football coach? Here's 6 candidates to replace Mike Elko. This is according to the Fayetteville Observer. Jamie Chadwell from Liberty. Kurt Signetti from James Madison. Kevin Johns from Duke. He's their offensive coordinator. Or will he go? We don't even know. He might go with Elko. Jim Knowles from Ohio State, Ohio State's defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, has a history with the Blue Devils. Knowles has nearly 40 years of coaching experience, including 8 years at Duke under David Cutcliffe. In 2010, Knowles helped the Blue Devils make the ACC championship game in its program's first 10-win season. He'd be a home run hire. Steve Spurrier Jr.
Casket!
Of course, we know Steve Spurrier also coached at Duke many, many moons ago. And I guess his son played there, too. A former Duke player and the son of former Duke coach. Sure, why not? Before Steve Spurrier went to win the national championship at Florida, he led the Blue Devils to an ACC title in 1989. Spurrier's son in his first season as the offensive coordinator at Tulsa, but he coached alongside with Mike Leach at Mississippi State and at Washington State. Spurrier Jr., age 52, has a wealth of experience from his time at several Power 5 programs. That's an interesting one. Jason Garrett? The hell? I didn't expect to see that name on there. Where's this name coming from? The former Dallas Cowboys coach was reportedly a finalist for the Duke job before the Blue Devils rolled with Mike Elko. Garrett, who is working as an analyst for NBC, won 85 games with the Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. He also spent time as the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think if I'm a Duke fan, I don't want Jason Garrett. I mean, other than his name, I guess maybe he can pitch to recruits that, he has all these NFL connections for draft purposes and whatnot. But other than that, I don't see that. Scott Frost. Jeremy says Scott Frost to Duke. Jimbo. Yeah, if Jimbo, he doesn't need to work. You know who he's going to be hanging out with? Ed Orgeron. Him and Ed Orgeron are going to be down in the Bahamas doing some unthinkable things with all that cash they have. Jimbo's going to be on. Somebody's going to. I think it's a terrible idea, but Jimbo Fisher's going to be on TV somewhere. Somebody's going to hire him. Let's put it this way. Try to be nice here. Jimbo Fisher isn't exactly known for his communication skills. Let's just put it that way. This is interesting. I love all these coaching rumors. They're fun. Bronco Mendenhall's alma mater needs a head coach. Could Oregon State come calling? That would not be a terrible hire. That would not be a terrible hire. It's been 2 years since Bronco Mendenhall stepped down as Virginia's head coach. Since then, he's been mentioned as a potential candidate when head coaching vacancies have opened up. That's not a surprise given his success in his 6 years at Virginia and 11 years at BYU prior to that. On Sunday, Jonathan Smith was announced as the next head football coach at Michigan State after Smith spent the past 6 seasons as Oregon State's head coach. That leaves the Beavers in search for a new coach in addition to a permanent home for their athletic programs after the mass exodus of teams from the Pac-12 this past summer. Mendenhall has strong connections to Oregon State. He played safety for the Beavers in the 1980s. And the Utah native also coached there, first as a graduate assistant, then for 2 years, including 1 year as Oregon State's defensive coordinator in the mid-1990s. Mendenhall went 99-43 in 11 seasons as BYU's head coach from 2005 to 2015 with 6 bowl wins and 4 final AP top 25 finishes as a coaching candidate to watch out for the Oregon State search. What's he doing now? Nothing, I guess. Did they say? Mendenhall, who is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, told the Church News earlier this year that he's open to returning to coaching. Well, there you go. There's not a decision that I make or that we make that doesn't start with our beliefs, and our beliefs then guide the principles, and our principles guide our choices. Our choices guide our actions, and you pull that thread, it's back to your beliefs. Well, maybe you ought to be a preacher. That sounds like every preacher in America right there. Oh, now his name's being brought up for the Syracuse job as well. Well, I'd rather coach at Oregon State than Syracuse, honestly. Although, at least Syracuse has a conference right now. Oregon State doesn't. So. How about Dino Babers to Oregon State? Speaking of Syracuse. Or how about this? Mike Elko hires Dino Babers as offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. What do you think about that? Top quotes from Kirby Smart's Sunday teleconference ahead of the SEC championship. Is there any chance in hell that Kirby Smart said anything interesting other than coach speak? I'm not knocking Kirby Smart. I'm just saying, is there, I mean, here, I'm not, before I even read this, I'll tell you what he said. Alabama's a great team. They're very talented. Nick Saban, his record speaks for itself. We're going to prepare our best. Jalen Milroe is the best quarterback in the history of the planet. Defense is really tough. Can't commit penalties. We can't turn the ball over against this team. We're going to have to stay very disciplined. Like, is there anything other than any of those things I just said that he's going to say? No, there's not. And why would he? So here's what he said. I'll try not to put you to sleep because I'm sure it's boring as shit. Yeah, we wrapped up the regular season last night in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. An incredible atmosphere there at night. Very passionate rivalry game. That's what college football is all about. I think everybody across the country, or at least in the Southeast, ends on that rivalry week. Usually a lot of emotions spent in these kind of games. That's the tough thing about our conference and college football. You got to bounce right back and get ready to go play a championship game. It's an opportunity that was earned by our team and this program. I know our players are certainly excited for the opportunity. I tell them all the time, it's one of the best venues, best atmospheres in all of sports, and I've been very fortunate to be a part of it a lot of times. I know our guys are excited about the opportunity. We have their full attention preparing for Alabama this week. Yeah, so he just, how long was that? Well, for 3 paragraphs of absolutely nothing is what he just said. So they want to know what he thinks about Dallas Turner. He's the greatest player in the history of the world. It's going to be hard to beat him. Going against Nick Saban, other coaches that he has worked with in the past. Seems like you go against people that you work with more often, I guess, the older you get. I don't know, maybe the longer you've been here. Not the first person that you've worked with that you go against. I can't say enough about the tremendous respect I have for him, the job he's done, how long he's done it. People don't understand how hard it is to be consistently good and consistently great. He's accomplished that at the highest level. So, exactly what I said. Injury update on Brock Bowers and other injured Bulldogs. Is he one of these guys that doesn't talk about injured players? I think he is. As far as last night, Brock was probably the closest of being able to go of those guys. Just didn't feel as good as he had. He was a little sore. We wanted to be able to use him situationally, see what he could do if he felt comfortable with it. Just didn't think he could go. Nothing about who we're playing or anything else. As far as the other guys go, it's going to be day to day. We just don't know anything. We certainly don't know anything more today because we haven't done anything. God bless these beat reporters that have to interview these coaches, man. It's got to be boring. I mean, with the exception of the rare time where the coach is mad. Now, Dabo Swinney, he's never boring because he doesn't have a filter, so it's not hard to get him worked up and mad. But most of the coaches, they just they're not going to give you anything. Oh, yeah, Tom Allen got fired from Indiana. Joel Klatt moves the Oregon Ducks up in his rankings of top schools. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, Mississippi State hires Jeff Lebby. And it didn't take but 5 minutes for Lane Kiffin to start trolling him. Posted a picture on Twitter with Lebby's head superimposed on a child's body on Lane Kiffin's shoulders. Mike Elko is expected to retain interim head coach Elijah Robinson. Probably smart because of the recruiting connections that he probably has. That's a smart move. You want to keep as many of the, because I'm sure they have a pretty decent recruiting class coming in. You want to keep as many of those guys signing next month as you can. You know what I mean? How does Ohio State handle quarterback room moving forward? That's a good question. I'm sure they've got some freshman that was highly recruited. I think if he wasn't so terrible, the rest of their team is championship caliber. I mean, they've got the skill position players. Their defense is really good. They got a pretty good running game. That quarterback just ain't it, man. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. What's up, Celine Driver? How you doing, buddy? So I think that might be about it. We covered it all, I think. As far as the news, I mean. One thing I will be interested to see is exactly what the contract looks like for Elko. Will they do the same dumb shit they did with Jimbo Fisher? That's the question. Are they going to give him a 10-year, $80 million guaranteed contract with a 100% buyout? I bet you they do. That's how dumb they are. Well, you imagine they fire Mike Elko after 3 seasons. They're still paying Jimbo Fisher for the next 8 years. Then they have to pay him for 8 years. Then they got to go out and find another coach. God almighty. All right, this will be the last one I read here. Yeah, well, I don't think they do necessarily have to pay Elko as much as they paid Jimbo, but in my opinion, Jimbo was so ready to get out of Florida State. That relationship between Jimbo and the athletic department in Tallahassee was toxic. He was looking for a way to get out. I believe that that Jimbo would have went to A&M. I don't think they needed to give him that contract. I think it would have went for less. And I think probably the same is true for Elko, but they'll probably overpay him. That's my guess. We'll see. I don't know when that contract information is going to come out. I'm assuming it'll be soon. If not today. But this will be the last article I read here, then I'll open up the StreamYard. Louisville versus Florida State, ACC championship game storyline and odds. Here we go. You know what the storyline is. Louisville crapped the bed and played themselves right out of any sort of playoff talk by losing to Kentucky. And not only did they lose to Kentucky, they shouldn't have lost to Kentucky. They had the game won. They blew it. Good job, Louisville. Still a great season. No matter what happens, it was still a great season for them. I don't care what anybody says. Despite the disappointment of losing the Governor's Cup for the 5th straight season, Louisville's 24-hour rule will take effect as the Cardinals prepare for another big game. Louisville is set to take on undefeated Florida State in the ACC championship game on Saturday at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. The game's on ABC. Blah, blah, blah. In the league's first season without divisions, the 2 teams with the best winning percentage made the title contest. Of course, the 2 teams would have both been in the Atlantic Division and not the Coastal Division, but there was no divisions. Florida State leads the all-time series against the Cardinals at 17-6. though they're 3-3 against each other in the last 6 matchups. The Noles beat the Cardinals at home last year 35-31, while Louisville took a 31-23 road win in 2021. I could save you a lot of time here. The storyline here is the quarterback for Florida State. That's the storyline. And since Florida State needs this to stay undefeated and possibly get a playoff spot, anything other than that, I don't know what, you know. I guess if Louisville, could be playing for a New Year's Six spot. Is that if Louisville lost? They're not going to a New Year's Six, are they? I know historically, or whatever the bowl tie-ins, the runner-up in the ACC typically goes to the Orange Bowl, but I'm not so sure that a 3-loss team would go to the Orange Bowl. Oh. They do have some players, especially on offense. Louisville does. Oh, there you go. Somebody said earlier, I think the line is what, does it say here? Hold on. Good Lord, this is long. Florida State is a 4-point favorite. I'll have to think about that. And I'll give you my thoughts on that tonight at 10 p.m. on the Lunch Money Show. You think Louisville will go to the Orange Bowl and play Ohio State? God. That'd be interesting. All right. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
What's up?
How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I feel like shit.
Baylor man was big mad yesterday.
What's that?
I said Baylor man was big mad yesterday or Saturday.
I was Saturday, but I'm not anymore.
Why, did you get over it, or you have something to be happy about?
Oh, I honestly, I haven't been this happy about something Baylor related since we won the national championship in men's basketball a few years ago.
Oh, well, do tell.
Well, if you, for those in the StreamYard, you might see my hashtag. We fired the guy that was the main culprit for why Baylor has sucked in football for the last few years.
Yo, I was going to say the last 80 years, but no, okay, I got it.
And that is?
The offensive coordinator, Jeff
Jeff.
Grimes.
Was he on staff a few years ago whenever you guys won the Sugar Bowl?
Okay, the reasoning for that, yes, he was, but his philosophy, we almost lost a lot of those games because he laid down. It was the talent that got us there.
Yeah.
But now that he's gotten his way, we sucked. We finished 3-9, which I expected, honestly. But
well, I know it's not happening now, but prior to this weekend, was there any sort of talk about firing Aranda?
I'm sure there was, but knowing the athletic director, he wants to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Well, then it sounds like the problem's not fixed.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem was fixed.
If I'm Dave Aranda, I'm on the phone yesterday with Dino Babers.
I'd like him. I'll tell you who I'd really love to come here to Waco. Joe Brady.
Joe Brady?
Yes.
I mean, he's got a better gig right now, but
Yeah. I don't know. How deep are the pockets at Baylor? I mean, how much could they pay a coordinator?
I think, well, we've got, like our boosters, we've got a lot of people that contribute to that, but you know, as a private school, they don't really disclose a lot of that
Right.
information.
One of those schools, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's same with like Notre Dame and
Miami.
those. Yeah, Miami,
Yeah.
TCU, a lot of those schools. You know,
Right,
private, and all that kind of stuff. Even Syracuse, since we mentioned Babers,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a pretty good hire.
Yeah, I would, well, I don't know, but I would think that Babers is probably holding out for a head coaching job somewhere, depending on where it was. I don't think he would just take any job, but I mean, come on.
Definitely.
He coached at Syracuse for all that time. It's not like he's going to get the, you know,
Yeah.
the best.
After Syracuse, how many people are going to be rushing to hire Dino Babers to be their head
Well,
coach?
he's just going to go back to the MAC. He's going to coach at fucking Western Michigan or something.
You don't think that he could get a job somewhere like Oregon State or
No,
what the Indiana job just came open? What about there? No?
I don't think so. No, not yet.
Well, Indiana maybe, yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
Why would you hire a guy who couldn't make it at Syracuse?
Because how many people make it at Syracuse?
Right, but I mean, same thing for Indiana, right?
Yeah, but Indiana hired Lovie Smith.
That was Illinois, but yeah.
That's a good point, Slim.
That was Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were Dino, I don't know. He could probably, if he took an offensive coordinator job at a contender, they could probably pay him as much as a coordinator as he was making a head coach at Syracuse, and he wouldn't have the pressure of being a head coach. You know?
Indiana,
No,
Illinois.
I think the OC job at Baylor would be a good job for him.
Sure. Or what about at A&M? I mean, they probably pay him $4 or $5 million as a coordinator.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Well, I think it's more likely that Joe Brady would end up there than at Baylor.
Yeah. I mean, if Clemson didn't have a coordinator, and I know people are Garrett Riley was a failure, this and that. And if you look at the offensive stats from Clemson this year and compare them to TCU last year when they went to the championship game, they're almost identical. Their problem this year was their quarterback couldn't stop giving the ball to the other team. It wasn't Garrett. Garrett Riley wasn't the one fumbling. So
Yeah, that was kind of our problem this year. I mean, Miami hasn't had 3 receivers over 500 yards since 2015.
yeah.
They
So
would do this year.
But if Clemson was looking for a coordinator this year, if Garrett Riley left or whatever, I would not be disappointed if they went after Dino Babers at Clemson even. So whoever gets him, if he goes as a coordinator, will be getting a good coordinator, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. It's been so long since I've seen Dino Babers as a coordinator. Does he remember how to do the job?
Yeah, sure he does.
All the plays at Syracuse.
I'm pretty sure.
not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the coordinator at Syracuse for all intents and purposes. Yeah.
I don't know.
And in my opinion, their offenses at Syracuse overperformed based on the talent level they had. So
That's true. They suck.
You know,
yeah,
it's probably like a super long shot, but I think a great offensive coordinator would be Dan Mullen.
yeah,
Well, I've
He's a
heard
great
Dan Mullen for the
offensive line
Syracuse
coach.
head job.
He's not head coach material. I mean, he's definitely offensive coordinator material. He's kind of like I hate if Gamecock fans are listening. You might want to plug your ears for just this one moment, but it's kind of like Will Muschamp, aka Coach Boom. You know, he's not head coach material, but he's a great defensive mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that. I think obviously Mullen had a really good record at Mississippi State, which is really hard place to win.
yeah.
I I think that if Syracuse hires Mullen, that would be a good hire for them.
Mullen, I don't think would go to Syracuse.
There's a lot of talk about it. He may or may not have connection there as well.
Right.
No, I think Baylor man's absolutely right. I think Dan Mullen's just an abysmal head coach.
I don't know if he's abysmal. I don't know if he's abysmal. That might be a little harsh. But
he had Mississippi State ranked #1 in the country for a little while. I mean, that's
for a week. And
yeah, but they were good that year. They were legit good.
I think Mullen could get a better job than that in Syracuse.
Probably.
So, I mean, it's not a Hugh Freeze situation where he was, where he had to go down and coach at Liberty, and because of the problems he had before he got the Auburn job. Dan Mullen didn't have that. I mean, the way things ended at Florida wasn't great, but it wasn't controversial the way that like Hugh Freeze was.
Right.
No, It wasn't controversial in the Hugh Freeze manner, but I mean, it's just as bad from another direction, talking about it's not recruiting season. Like, you're never going to be a successful head coach with that line of thinking.
Rick says that Mullen already said he's not interested in the job. Okay. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm assuming he's not trolling. So, but
fair enough.
To be fair,
likes his gig at ESPN.
Yeah, that's a Chris job. And to be fair, Mike Elko said he wasn't interested in the Texas A&M job 2 weeks ago. So
gotta love that coach speak, right?
Well,
I will not be the Texas A&M head coach.
I also don't know the parameters of Mullen's buyout at Florida. If he takes another job, do they have to stop paying him?
That's probably true. Didn't Nick Saban once upon a time say that he was not going to be the head coach at Alabama? I don't know.
Yeah, the year before he went there.
Yeah. No, it was a couple of months before he went there.
Right.
I think it was right before he hopped a plane to Tuscaloosa.
He said that to the reporter on his way to the airport.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
But I mean, let's be honest. Nick Saban was on his way out of the Dolphins anyway. I mean, there were rumors there that the linebacker room was fixing to corner him in the bathroom and beat the ever-loving shit out of him.
That's funny. There was also rumors that A&M reached out to Dabo, and he said thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah, they'd be stupid not to.
I mean, Dabo loves wearing camo pants. He got to wear them every week if he went there.
Right.
As long as he left that Clemson offense at Clemson.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
But I think that's kind of on him.
Well, it's definitely on him.
Yeah.
Definitely on him. But the one worry that I had coming into this season is gone now.
Which is?
My worry was that Garrett Riley was going to come in and the offense was going to be, one of the top offenses in the country, and then he was going to take a head coaching job somewhere. But we don't have to worry about that now. He'll be back next year.
I think he will, yeah.
Nobody's offering Garrett Riley a job right now. Not for a head coach, anyway.
That's fine. I'd like to have him around for another couple years. I don't think he forgot how to coach offense.
No. The offense wasn't his problem. It's Dabo's problem and the personnel problem. And he actually kind of said so much. They asked him what the difference. We're going back to like after the NC State loss, right, when they were 4-4. They said, what's the problem? What's the difference between last year's, offense at TCU and this year's offense at Clemson? And he goes, personnel. In other words,
that is true.
We had better offensive players at TCU last year than we have at Clemson this year. That's what he's saying.
That's complete horseshit.
I don't know about better, but definitely a less experienced.
They had a better quarterback. They had a better top receiver.
Yeah,
for sure.
They might have had a better offensive line too.
I think they did. And the running backs were pretty much the same. I mean, those guys are in the NFL now. They had 2 running backs that are getting serious play in the NFL this year. So
I don't give a shit. To say that the talent level is even comparable at TCU to Clemson is laughable.
It's not talent level. It's the ability of the players to actually do stuff on the field.
Yeah.
It's not about the star rating, although Quentin Johnston was a 5-star.
I mean, if you looked at Clemson's receiver core this past weekend in South Carolina, it was a ton of freshmen. That's what it was. And I mean, was there a single upperclassman on that offense? I mean, on the receiving core?
No.
Yeah, a bunch of freshmen, couldn't score a touchdown. So.
Well, they could have, but Dabo was nice and didn't score at the end there. He took a knee on the Gamecock 3-yard line to spare Shane Beamer's feelings.
I'm fine with that.
He didn't do that shit to Miami. He scored with like 16 seconds on us.
Well, he knew that if he did that, Shane Beamer would have cried about it.
Right.
So.
He may have anyway, but yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. What do you think, Volusia in particular, but the rest of you too, but what do you think about the planting of the Clemson flag after the game on the field?
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hashtag stop mistreating Jackpot.
Okay.
Well, I almost say is if South Carolina turns around and does it to you, next time they
did it
beat
to
you,
us last
get
year.
butthurt.
They did it to us last year.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
So
okay.
fuck them.
That was in retaliation for last.
Yeah. My favorite part was that the play, I think it was Xavier Thomas. I can't remember who it was that sacked Rattler.
Yeah.
And he did the Spurs down hand gesture, and behind him was what's his name, doing the chicken walk flapping his chicken wings.
Yeah. Look, I like it. I like that our players hate them and take the game seriously.
Yeah. They need to.
And that poor Mario Anderson, the running back, he was the one that was said before the game, well, this isn't an SEC team, talking about Clemson. Well, he had 13 carries for 35 yards. So.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're not an SEC team, but they're still a better team, though. So.
Way better than your dumbass.
I felt bad for that guy. He didn't know what planet he was on. And they kept him in the game.
4th and 31, baby.
Oh, here's Ballard.
Yeah.
Ballard.
What's up?
Ballard, I had to laugh at your video yesterday. Sorry.
Which one?
You posted a video yesterday, and the title of it was, "You're not going to hear any trash talk from me this week." I'm like, when did we ever hear trash talk from you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can hear trash talk from me, but it's not any good.
Oh,
but,
okay.
The point being, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and let Alabama just play on the field this Saturday because we got a big task with Georgia. I have a lot of respect for the Georgia fans of this community, like Uncle Lou and everybody else. And
That's good.
I mean,
Hey, Ballard, I got a question.
still like. What's up?
Why is it when Auburn only rushed 2, Bama's offensive line still had to hold on the last play?
Boy.
I mean, they only rushed 2 and they still had to hold them.
Rush 2? I know. What was that? Rushed. I mean, you might as well just don't rush.
I've never seen a defense only rush.
If you're gonna rush 2, don't rush. Don't rush.
Well,
at all.
apparently it was effective because they still had to hold him.
You can't rush 0.
Yeah.
He literally has all the time he wants.
You might as well just put 11 DBs.
Yeah, you may as well just drop 11. Why'd you even keep 3 up there?
Just put 11 DBs on the field.
Prevent defense, prevent you from winning again.
Yeah.
If you rush 0, he can run around until there's a penalty. He can literally take 5 minutes.
I still can't believe that Auburn did that. I mean, I'm just an idiot with an internet connection. I was yelling at the TV like I had some sort of stake in the game. As soon as they dropped 8, I go, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And then how do you drop 8 and still leave a guy one-on-one in the corner of the end zone?
That's
with that number 4.
They gave Jalen Milroe, though. You gave Jalen all day long.
Yeah, look, congratulations. He made the pass and they made the play, but Jalen Milroe did not do anything exceptional in that play. He just threw it into the corner of the end zone to a guy who was one-on-one with a guy that was, 6 inches shorter than he was.
And he wasn't even looking for the ball either. Yeah, he wasn't looking for the ball either, and he had a 20-yard cushion on him, and still got beat. So I mean,
if you look at the still frame when the Alabama receiver went up and caught the ball, you can see 3 Auburn defenders not covering anybody, standing 5 feet away. 3.
So, at the end of the game, if you notice, too, and Alabama fans, I think, are still crying about this. They were so pissed that when you look at the box score on ESPN, it still says that they won 27-24 when they had that, because they intercepted the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But
the
defender had stepped out of bounds, but Alabama fans are on the internet complaining like, no, he was in all the way. They should have gave us the.
Oh, who cares?
6.
You won the game.
Who cares about your garbage interception? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? You won the game. That's all that matters.
Right.
So. I'm not one of these conspiracy theorists that thinks that the games are rigged, but boy, oh boy, Auburn sure as hell made a case for it in that play.
I know it wasn't.
Lord.
It wasn't like when Josh Dobbs did that Hail Mary on us. Yeah, that dog.
Oh yeah.
Now I must admit I'm rather disappointed
I mean,
because
that was great play by
The astronaut.
and
Big
Juwan.
Two, what's wrong with your fan base?
But that Auburn play on 4th and 31, that was just bad defense. But again, what are you gonna say, Slim?
Big Two, what's wrong with your fan base? What's wrong with your fan base?
What do you mean?
Oh, they have every excuse in the world as to why Kirby played down intentionally and Georgia just didn't play a bad game against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we played a bad game. What the deal is? I mean, now we played a bad game. I mean, I can admit that, but
Yeah, look ahead games happen.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of people on the internet that can't.
Who cares? They won.
Well, I mean, yeah, our defense definitely played bad. Letting Tech go up and down the field on us. But
Well, I don't have any sympathy because they spent the past 2 weeks, saying, "Oh, whoop-de-doo, Clemson beat up on Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's one of the worst teams in the country," and then they put that performance on against them. So
yeah, they're not that bad. Yeah.
they're not that bad now. Now they're not that bad, right? Right.
Yeah, it was a moral victory for Georgia Tech. Yeah.
Now, Pete, you were talking about the Louisville Florida State game earlier. Do we know if Rodemaker's playing, or is he going to be in concussion protocol?
A concussion.
You know what? That's a good question because he almost got killed, literally, on that play.
Yep.
And that third string quarterback that came in, he has no idea what he's doing. I tell you that right now.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Rodemaker doesn't look like he knows what he's doing either.
I know, but that tells you all you need to know. He's better than the third string guy.
Yeah, although in my post game video, I think I did say something about the refs being on Tech's side, but
that
I know, yeah.
You know what that hit kind of reminded me of? It looked a lot like, if you guys remember, like about a decade or two ago, when Trent Green got hit like that. The quarterback, he was for, I think, Kansas City and Miami for a little while.
Okay.
He got like a 3rd-degree concussion.
Third concussion. What? Okay.
Yeah, it was. I know it was really serious.
I think it's like a 3rd-degree burn. It was a 3rd-degree concussion. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
First or 2nd degree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one he sustained was first, and then the next one was like a more serious one.
And then Baylor man, wasn't it your quarterback? I think was his name Charlie Brewer, got like a bunch of concussions that 1 year.
Yeah, they messed him up pretty good. I do remember when he got first one.
The thing, including that Sugar Bowl when we played y'all and he got knocked out of the game. But
I remember the offensive line that year was just absolutely abysmal.
To answer your question though, Slim, is there any Florida State fans in the chat here that can I don't know the status of that quarterback for this week, or if they've even said.
Yeah, I haven't found anything. And I mean, that whole thing is a bad look for Norvell. I mean, Rodemaker's been there for 4 years and he still looks like ass.
Well, the guy hardly plays.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But I guess you can't use that as an excuse because Beck was at Georgia for 4 years and he looks, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel bad for Florida State. I know I'm not supposed to, but I do.
Why? What's there to feel bad for? They're 12-0. What's there to feel bad?
Well, they're 12-0, but they don't really have any shot to. They're not going to win. They're not going to. They might not even win the ACC, but they're definitely not winning anything after that.
No, they're not going to win a playoff game in that. Well, I mean, they might if they get matched up with Michigan, but because Michigan can't win a bowl game.
Yeah, I don't know. J.J. McCarthy's pretty good.
Yeah, Michigan would thump Florida State.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, we also thought the same thing about TCU, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do think McCarthy is a bit of a jag, but I don't know. I think their team is good.
Well, you're comparing TCU to Florida State. TCU had a Heisman finalist quarterback in that game.
Ooh.
Last year.
First-round receiver as well. I guess,
Yeah.
Florida State does have a first-round receiver, but okay.
I mean,
Well,
unfortunately
Michigan,
for Florida State, their Heisman finalist quarterback is sitting in a hospital right now. So, or it's probably home now.
Michigan's best player, of course, is their running back, Blake Corum.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of defense he faces. He made the number one rushing defense at the time, Penn State, look, like a middle school team.
I think the best thing that could happen, well, there's two parts to this. It's the worst thing that could happen to the program in the long run is the cheating scandal at Michigan. But as far as how far they can go this season and the postseason, I think it's the best thing because it's they've got the us against the world mentality, and all that America's team bullshit. They don't even believe that. They don't believe that.
There's
I got a quick. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead. What's up?
So I got a question regarding, I think win or lose on Saturday, which I'm just going to throw this out there and be honest, as much confidence as I have and as much I can hope, I think it's safe to say Georgia's going to whoop Alabama. Well, I don't want to say whoop, but they'll win the game. Georgia's going to make the playoffs. Of all the teams that are most likely to get in the playoff, who do you see being the team that stops the three-peat?
Okay,
Oregon.
Would I be afraid to play the most? It would probably be Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon.
That's who I would be worried about because of dynamic, quarterback play. So
I would say Oregon, and next in line would be Michigan. And outside of those two teams, I don't really think there is anybody.
Yeah, which is
in the preseason I had it.
The teams don't have.
In the preseason, I would have said Michigan. I had no idea Oregon was going to take off like they did this year, and that's the team that we knew would be good and better with Bo Nix, but they took it to a whole nother level, man. That's just unforeseen. Outside of that Washington loss the first time around,
look, Texas isn't terrible.
No.
No.
No, you'd rather play Florida State than Texas.
Sure.
Who said Texas was terrible?
I'm just saying I don't think that it's unfathomable that they would give Georgia a game.
Yeah, it's not.
Right. Well, I don't think that. I don't think anyone thinks that Texas is terrible except Alabama fans. But
right.
No, what are you talking about? Texas is amazing, man. They went to Bryant-Denny Stadium. They won by, 14 points?
10
pretty
points.
good team.
Right, that's why they're going to get in the playoff over you, even if you beat Georgia.
You didn't see the Twitter post, Ballard, with the Alabama fan that said that Texas hasn't beat anybody good all year?
Yes, that also includes Baylor.
I did see that.
Oh, Wet Blanket, if you're in here, he's the Oklahoma State man. We need y'all this weekend.
No, we don't.
I do.
No.
I just
wanna
don't
see
get this
all
talk,
these
though.
SEC fucking banner waivers absolutely melt the fuck down when the SEC gets left out of the playoffs.
Slim, that would be
See,
the
that's the
funniest
thing, though.
softball.
Let me ask. I don't think they're going to leave the SEC out.
I don't either.
They
The
absolutely
SEC brings
can
in-
and will.
I think they bring in all the money. Like, think about it: Alabama, Georgia, LSU in 2019. And
Okay.
here's the thing: I saw a scenario a couple weeks ago. There's a scenario. Let's say if Alabama upsets Georgia this week, hypothetically speaking, are you really going to leave Alabama out? And then
Yes.
is Georgia for sure going to be in?
They're both out. First of all, Texas has more money than you. Secondly, they beat you. Thirdly, if there's 3 other undefeated teams, you're fucking out.
Yeah, Bam.
I don't think there has to be three other undefeated teams because I think Oregon and Texas would both get in over Bama and Georgia.
Yeah, hashtag Bama needs help.
They do. And I think Slim is not wrong. If Oregon smashes Washington, they can get in over Bama too.
Or if Oregon wins this weekend, they're getting in. That's all there is.
Yeah, whoever wins Pac-12 championship is in.
Yeah.
This is why we're going to 12 teams next year, guys.
No, you don't deserve to get in. You lost. 12 teams is stupid. You lost. Alabama, if they don't get in, they have nothing to complain about. No room at all. You lost. If you wanted to get in, you should have beat Texas and you wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
You know, as a neutral fan, of course, my team has no chance, but this is just going to be exciting to see what happens, who gets in, who gets left out.
Well, Rick says it'll be funny watching the ACC get left out with an undefeated Florida State over a 12-1 Georgia. I don't think that'll happen. And the article I read earlier said, will the playoff committee consider the fact that Florida State's not one of the best 4 teams because they don't have Jordan Travis. They're not supposed to be looking at personnel.
Supposed to do that, yeah.
Now, whether they do or not,
you could absolutely because Alabama was missing Mechie the other couple years ago. They should have left Bama out then.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's not going to happen. He's just full of shit.
Exactly.
listen to me. There's zero chance. I'd be willing. I've lost every bet I've made this year, but I'd be willing to bet that if Florida State wins this weekend, they're in the playoffs.
Yes.
I mean, Ohio State, won the Natty in 2014 with a third-string quarterback. So
Also true.
That's right.
That's right.
No, obviously, if Florida State wins, they're going to the playoff. Anyone who says otherwise is either trolling or stupid.
Well, there's Bama fans on Twitter that are all over the place saying it.
Well, that would be the second category.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter whether you believe that Alabama's better than Florida State. That's not the point.
Not at all.
No.
I think we all think that's probably
I mean,
true.
because if you're going to put in Bama at that point, why even play the season?
That's right.
Wins and losses don't matter. I mean, if at that point, you can make an argument for a 7-5 Miami being a 4-team playoff, and that if wins and losses don't matter like that.
Yeah, no, there's no point in playing the games.
Yeah.
If the outcome of the game doesn't matter, what the fuck are we even doing?
That's a good question. They 2.0H wants to know, is Slida upset or happy with the outcome from the Georgia Tech game on Saturday?
yeah, he's happy. Yeah, he's happy. Yeah.
He
I
is?
mean, I guess that's a kind of win-win situation for Slida.
Well, he does love both teams, so I don't know. Maybe he cried and then cheered. I don't know.
Or cheered and cried.
Or that. I don't know. It's going to be fun. With somebody without a dog in the fight, no pun intended, I just want to see how upset whoever gets left out is. That's all.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm there for the crying. Give me the tears.
Me too.
I got my Citrus Bowl tickets ready.
You got your what?
Citrus Bowl tickets.
There you go.
Alabama
Good
does
call.
lose to Georgia and they're out of the playoffs. Yeah, I already got them booked, man. I got a flight down to Orlando, and
It's
Honestly, I think y'all would get into like the Cotton Bowl or
Orange Bowl.
oh yeah,
Or the Orange Bowl. Yeah.
Nah, probably.
yeah. I'm just making some jokes here. We'll make it a year 6 if we lose. I mean,
Yeah, it'll be one of the
That's-
at-large ones.
yeah.
Yeah, I like Cotton Bowl or the
Probably
Peach Bowl, but
Probably.
it wouldn't be the Orange Bowl because usually that's between ACC and Big Ten.
Usually it is.
And Notre Dame.
Sometimes it's between the SEC and the ACC. Like
Yeah, it's very likely that it would be Ohio State, given the pecking order and picking, because Louisville would be. They're obligated to take an ACC.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say Ohio State's going to the Orange Bowl. It's just who they're going to play against.
They're playing Louisville. If Louisville wins or loses, it's going to be Louisville. Because if they win, they're the ACC champs, and they're in.
Yeah,
And
that's
if they
true.
Lose, they're the ACC number 2, and Florida State's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Louisville either way.
Right, good point. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
gonna be
I'm gonna look.
wherever the substitute is for the Sugar Bowl when it's a playoff game, which I guess like the Cotton Bowl, right? I think, and I think that
it depends on the at-large pick. I think
yeah,
it
and I
would
think
end up being probably Peach Bowl, but maybe.
yeah, and then I think that the substitute for the Rose Bowl is the Fiesta Bowl. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they actually project. This is what they have on CBS Sports. So the playoff looks like Georgia and Oregon for the Sugar Bowl, Michigan, Florida State for the Rose Bowl, and the first two out are Texas and Ohio State. You have Ohio State, Louisville in the orange, Texas, Tulane in the Fiesta. In the Peach Bowl, you have Missouri and Penn State. That'll be a hell of a game. And then Washington, Alabama for the Cotton Bowl.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Jalen Milroe and Michael Penix. I like it.
Yeah, you get one good quarterback and one shitty quarterback.
Yeah,
It's a great game.
Right.
Now, I think it
here's
actually
this
is
one
more
for
likely
you.
that Oregon would be 3 and Florida State 4. But
Let me tell you where they got Clemson, Pete.
Okay,
they
yeah.
actually got you guys December 27th in the Holiday Bowl against guess who?
Oregon State.
AJ
I saw it, yeah.
That's what I want.
That's what we want. We want to see. We want to see ukulele versus club dick. So
yeah, I don't know.
Duke and Auburn. That'll be.
Oh my God.
Duke will kill Auburn. I think.
I don't know about that. They're coachless and quarterbackless.
yeah. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I have a question. So if my mom, the ukulele and Kate Klubnik play each other in a bowl game, will you and Pete continue? Will you and Lou continue the bet? And then
Well, I don't know why he'd continue it. He already won.
okay.
I mean, if he wants to continue it, I'm up for it. I don't know why he would, though.
So it was just for the regular season.
It was just for the regular season. It was close, too. Very close.
What was the bet?
It was statistically against DJ versus Klubnik.
Oh, okay.
3 different categories. Klubnik won 1 category, and DJ ended up winning 2. But it came down to total yards, and Klubnik going into Saturday was 20 total yards behind DJ.
Yeah, and then he put up a clean 100.
Yeah, all he needed was 252 yards, I think, something around like that, to beat DJ and for me to win the bet, and he only put up 152, I think.
Did you see in the Palmetto Bowl, there were combined 59 passes thrown.
Yeah.
212 passing yards.
Yeah.
That is fucking atrocious.
You know, though, there was like 5 or 6 drop passes by Clemson. I mean,
Yeah. No, you're right, but still.
so that wasn't all on Klubnik. Now, the interception he threw was awful. It was awful. But,
I mean, you're gonna throw 60 passes as a team combined as 2 teams and get 200 yards. 60 throws for 200. Okay.
yeah, and the sad thing about that is that South Carolina's defense isn't very good. But I mean, Clemson did rush for, what was it, 230 yards or something?
Yeah, that's why we won.
Yeah. So, anyway, but.
What the hell's happened in North Carolina?
I know. They fell off just like they did last year.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Talk about a team that's always disappointing.
You think it's because Mac Brown's so old that he's got the energy for the first part of the season and he just like needs a nap at the end of the season?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be.
It's because it's North Carolina. They're folding for all season. Just like always.
Real quick, I'm still looking at bowl projections. In the Gator Bowl, they have North Carolina playing Tennessee. Speaking of North Carolina, but that's a Big Ten SEC matchup. Who are they replacing?
That would be a good matchup. Yeah.
Hold on.
How's an ACC team in a Big Ten bowl game?
Which game?
Minnesota, Illinois, both 5 and 7.
Well, the Gator Bowl can be either.
The Gator Bowl. First of all, the Gator Bowl is an ACC game.
Yeah, well, well, sometimes it's been a big. It's either SEC versus either the big.
Hold on, Baylor man, I'm taking you out for a second. You guys got to see this. Where are you guys at, Lou?
Good morning. Cafe Du Monde.
Oh, cool.
ABA, hey Lou.
Morning.
Cafe do what?
That's what's left of the beignets.
Is that cocaine?
I thought they're called Big Nets.
Powdered sugar, yeah. Yeah.
Look at her. She's got she's got her Mardi Gras beads on. Look at her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she earned those.
Yeah.
She earned those. All right, just wanted to pop in and say hey.
All right.
Hey,
y'all have fun.
See y'all later.
All right.
Anyways, no, the Gator Bowl is ACC for a long time. I don't know if it's. I mean, I guess they change around a
It's
lot.
Big Ten sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's SEC versus Big Ten or ACC.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we played there, I went to the game, and it was us against Nebraska, who was in the Big 12 at that point. So.
Yes, 4.
I wouldn't mind seeing Clemson versus Oklahoma either.
Yeah.
No, hey.
Yeah, but yeah.
Actually playing.
The Venables Bowl. Yeah.
Hey, and I want an apology from everybody too. Well, I don't know about you guys, but everybody else. Wes, it's time to give Wes Goodwin his due. He's done a great job taking over for Venables.
Agree.
Yep.
His flowers, as the youth say.
Gotta give him credit.
Yeah, give him his flowers.
I want to give a big shout out. Peter Woods has looked good as a freshman this year. Remember, I told you I went to his commitment announcement, and it's good to see him doing well.
Yeah, and ironically enough, he's maybe the third best true freshman on the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is there at true freshman?
Well, Khalil Barnes had an amazing season.
So did TJ Parker.
And so did Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Peter Woods is great too.
Oh, and Avion Terrell is legit as fuck as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the defense is going to be, I'm very happy with where they're headed. They got a bunch of really good young players. And they got more coming in. Sammy Brown comes in next year, 5-star. So, they'll be just fine on defense. Offense, a different story. I don't know what's going to happen. Hey, do you, Volusia, do you think that Shipley's out, or you think he's going to come back?
I have no idea. I mean, I can see the reason for either one. He's been injury prone, and he's a running back, the whole tread on the tires thing. But then again, he's not going to be a day 1 or day 2, frankly, pick. He's a 4th round, 5th round pick, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. But not only that, though, he's not the guy anymore. I have a feeling Moffitt will come back.
I think he will. Look, I'm not going to begrudge Shipley if he decides to go. I hope he comes back.
I hope he comes back
leaves,
too.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know if he will, though.
I really have no feel for it at all. I have no idea.
Yeah. When I said I wouldn't be upset if he didn't, people took it the wrong way. It has nothing to do with him. It's just I feel like our running back room is good with or without him. That's all. I mean, I want him to come back. You can never have too many good players. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I prefer that he returns, of course. I mean, especially given that running back's in a position where guys get hurt a lot. We need depth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do we have any studs behind those two guys?
Coleman looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's another guy, I forget, shit, now his name's slipping my mind, coming in this year. But you know how they don't, unless you're a 5-star hot shot, like top recruit in the country, they don't really play you your freshman year at running back.
Right.
In Clemson,
and I don't think he is.
Yeah.
So, Vic, have you heard anything on it? Is Vic still in here? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Have y'all heard anything on Bowers? Is he good to go for Saturday?
Well, according to Kirby Smart, it's day to day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be okay. I think it's more like kind of like he could have played, but decided to hold him out, because we're going to need him for the SEC championship. So.
I'll go ahead and tell you, he's playing.
Yeah.
I think he'll play. If they got to put him on crutches, he'll be playing. Doesn't matter.
If he's got to hop around, he'll play.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
I'm just curious because I think the good matchup that if Alabama wants to get a guy to defend him, I'm thinking either Malachi Moore or Caleb Downs, honestly. I mean, we got a couple different guys to choose from. It could be Terry and Arnold, but I think you give one of those guys a chance.
Who's going to cover the honky?
I guess that'd be Terry and Arnold.
Well, I guess technically Bowers is a honky too, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other honky.
Yeah.
What's the spread in that game? 6?
5.
It says
4.5.
5.
The open was 4. They updated like how it looks when you can view the line and everything. Georgia's favored by 5 on ESPN.
Yeah, under a touchdown, I'm taking the Bulldogs, I think.
Yep. Lock it up.
You'd really take Georgia in this matchup?
Under 6.5, I would, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't put a dime on it. That's just me, though.
I'm not going to. I don't have any money left to bet, so. But if I was.
Either, because I don't think it's just a lock that Georgia wins the game. I mean, Kirby Smart does still have a losing record to Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's lost all but one.
Well, that right there is probably the only reason the line is as low as it is.
Probably got something to do with it,
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I am getting, at least for this SEC game, I mean, does this not give everybody that 2021 feeling where Georgia was talked about and undefeated going into the game, and then Bryce Young lit them up? I'm not saying Jalen Miller is going to light them up, but I feel like he's going to find something up his sleeve to give to Georgia to where Alabama's going to find a way to win the game. And I'm not even just saying that. Man, I really think Nick Saban's going to have these guys ready.
I tend to agree.
The difference between this game and 2 years ago is that Alabama is not nearly as good.
That's true. I would agree.
Putting it simply, aren't you? I tend to agree with Jay. I think it's a bad matchup for Alabama.
I honestly think it's going to come down to the last possession. Who has the ball last?
And I think it's a defensive game, too, on both sides. I really believe that. I mean, if Alabama and Dallas Turner can get pressure to to Carson Beck. I mean, you know, and of course Georgia's going to get to Jalen Milroe. I'm not ready to call. Okay, fine. I'm an Alabama fan. I have faith in my Crimson Tide. We can get it done. I have not made a prediction video yet. It's coming this Friday, but it wouldn't surprise me no matter how the game goes. I mean, it's almost a toss-up in a
Well, nothing should surprise you in college football. But I'll say, like I say every year, when you have two teams that are equally talented on paper, which Alabama and Georgia I think are, I'm always taking the team with the better quarterback, and Beck is a better quarterback.
That's fair. The only thing that would surprise me if it's a blowout either way. I think that'd be
if Georgia wins by 20, that will not surprise me at all.
What the hell?
That would not surprise me. If Georgia wins this game 35-14, I'm not going to be surprised by that.
Yeah, the only thing that would surprise me is if Alabama won by 20. That would be surprising.
Awesome.
You guys don't think that Alabama could keep it close? Or I'm not saying you don't think.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying if they don't, I won't be shocked.
Georgia's good enough to where they could blow out Nick Saban. Kirby's not that coach.
That's not. Fortunately, he doesn't have to strap it up. Yes, Georgia can kick Alabama's ass. Yes.
I mean, they did win by 15 the last time we saw them. So, I mean, I just think 20 is a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
I
wouldn't predict that. I think Georgia wins by 10-14.
And again, that's respectable right there. 10-14. Yeah. That makes sense.
The funniest line is Michigan's a 23-point favorite over Iowa with the over-under at 35.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, probably. Michigan will win that game 16-0.
I was going to say maybe even if they won 24-6, that's still under.
I'll say 19-2.
19-2. I would like to see somebody pull up a stat. How many Iowa games this year have gone over the point total? I bet you not maybe 2.
Yeah, but you know what? Iowa doesn't give a shit sitting there with 10 wins.
I was hearing someone talk about how in the Iowa-Nebraska game last week, they took the over 24. The over 24, and it was 13-10.
Yeah. See?
Big 12 is interesting here. Big 12 is Texas, Oklahoma State. They got Texas by 14.
Yeah.
And the over-under is 54.5.
Okay, that sounds right to me.
Texas is gonna cover that.
Yeah.
Go Pokes.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
And then Oregon, Washington.
I want to hear. Scott Kerr's been in the back room. I want to bring him in. One of you guys has to drop out, though, for that to happen.
I'll get out. I got you.
All right.
Go anyway.
I'll go.
All right. See you later, Baylor, man. Thanks for coming on. What's up, Scott?
I had to come in and defend my honor, being a Georgia Bulldog fan.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, guys. I've had COVID for the past 14 days.
Oh, no.
And just getting over it. But look, the way I look at this game is it could be a close game, but after watching Alabama and Auburn play and Alabama winning that game and Saban going to the press conference and saying, guys, well, you saw what happened. You know, I mean, he was surprised as anybody that they won that damn game.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
To be fair,
Georgia looked good Saturday.
Georgia looked okay Saturday. They looked. You know what?
Like
look, Slim, let me say something. The two damn interceptions that Carson Beck had were all bounced up damn balls. Bounced up damn balls is what the interceptions were. He had it. They were going to score and make it 38-23. You know, before
one of them was tipped up. One of them was.
Well, no, both of them were tipped up. They were both tipped up. Go back and look at the damn replay. Go watch the game. They were both tipped up.
Like I said, Georgia fans got every excuse in the world when their team looks like fucking ass. They can't just say,
been prepared. Georgia has been. I don't want to hear from a Miami fan who had Mario Cristobal,
what does my team's record have
then call a damn timeout at the very end of the game and lose to Georgia Tech.
What does my team's record have to do with my statement being true or false? Nothing. You're deflecting because you have a losing, piss-poor argument.
I have a losing, piss-poor argument against with Georgia? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not deflecting anything. I'm just telling you that they won the game. It doesn't matter, scoreboard. But
like
Alabama was going to lose that game. Alabama should have lost that game. There's no doubt in my mind Alabama should have lost that game. That's the defense coordinator's fault. If they had not fired him by today, they should have fired him. What are you saying, Slim? What shit are you saying?
I heard if you can't beat Georgia Tech by 30, you're not a playoff team in that.
Oh no!
Bite my ass. You got your ass beat by Georgia Tech, you dumbass. Okay. What are you talking about?
What is that? Oh, somebody's salty. Somebody's salty.
Chill out. Stop yelling.
Somebody what?
Somebody is salty.
Well, you're coming off with me salty as hell, so I'm going to come right back.
Go out there and sprinkle some of that salt on your driveway so you don't slip and fall, old man.
Kiss my white, flabby, old ass. My pasty white, flabby, old 68-year-old ass. I want you to kiss it.
You lose the football argument.
Slim, let's make a bet. If Georgia wins, I want you to kiss my ass.
When you get personal, you've lost the football argument, sir.
No, I'm not getting personal. I'm asking you to kiss my ass. That's the bet.
When you get personal, you've lost the football argument.
Oh, my God. I didn't get personal. You're the one that got personal. You're the one going, I don't think they got a chance. I don't think Kirby could lose. Bullshit.
I said your team looked like ass Saturday. That's getting personal? That's
the team looked fine.
Like ass Saturday?
The team looked fine.
No,
the team looked fine. Look,
is getting personal,
look, they had look, Haynes King, great ball player, no doubt about it. They played just like
down the field on your piss poor defense. Poverty ass defense.
Poverty ass defense. You keep it up, Slim. You're talking about getting personal. You're the one that's getting personal and salty as hell.
Talking about your football team, that's getting personal.
Do you like the sea salt or do you like the iodized salt? Slim?
I kept it at your football team, sir. You're the one out here calling names.
Well, you're the one that's saying, well, Georgia Tech should have won it. And Georgia Tech beat your ass.
Okay. Does that make my statement any less true?
It makes your statement a little less responsive because you don't know jack shit about Georgia football. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, Slim. You don't know Jiminy Jack squat about Georgia football. All you do is talk about Miami, who's a losing fucking team.
We have a winning record.
Period.
Can you not? I guess you're on that Jay Shipes math. You can't count.
No.
I can't count? What? Y'all are going to you're not going to the ACC playoffs, are you?
We have
no, you're not, are you? Oh no, you're not. Oh my goodness, no, you're not going to go to.
You just said we have a losing team. We have a winning record, sir.
Oh, what's your winning record? What is it? What is it? 9? What is it? 8-4? Is it 8-4?
Does that make your defense any less shitty? No,
my team is 12-0. My team is 29-0. 29-0 straight fucking wins.
That doesn't make
when you get to the point of having 29 straight wins, then I will kiss your salty ass. But you don't.
We hit 24 or 25.
Hey, Scott.
In 1932?
Hey, Scott, guess what Slim told me? Guess what Slim told me the other day? He said he's starting to question whether or not the moon landing was real or not.
Oh my God! Oh please don't! You're gonna bring me breakout in COVID again.
Your little feelings get hurt.
My little feelings aren't hurt, Slim. My feelings aren't hurt one damn bit. I just don't like somebody like you going on and espousing about Georgia when you don't know jack shit about the Georgia Bulldogs.
Whatever the fuck I want about whatever the fuck I want.
Well, you know what? But when you don't know shit, when you don't know jack shit, you sound like jack shit. And that's what you sound like.
And you're the one that sounds like jack shit out here name calling. When you get personal,
what am I name calling? What have I called you? What have I called you, Slim? Other than a big old asshole?
Are you that fucking stupid? Are you literally that fucking retarded, Scott? Are you that fucking brain dead?
Brain dead? Well, how? What I called you retarded? I ain't called you retarded.
You want to come on here and call me a dumbass? Yes, you.
Well, you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
You lost the football argument. You still have a shitty defense.
You're football. You're big old. You're just a big old Miami. You're just old Miami dumbass fan who just wants to talk. They always wants to talk shit about Georgia. Anytime and every time you want to talk shit, you want to talk bad about Georgia. That's all you do. That's all you do. That's all you can do. Is talk shit about Georgia.
That's right.
That's what you sound like.
No, you sound like a bad Miami fan is what you sound like.
Your team's going to get absolutely skull-drugged by the worst Alabama team in the last 15 years.
Okay. You want to make a bet on that? Seriously, you want to make a bet?
Yeah, the Army.
Bet me $100 fucking right now. Come on, asshole. Straight up, $100.
Hey, Scott, you can kiss my motherfucking ass, bitch.
I know you talking about us getting skull fucked by Alabama. Bet me $100 right now. You piss poor bitch. You piss poor bitch. You can't bet because you know that we're going to win.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
That's right. Put your fucking money where your mouth is, asshole.
Get out of your feelings, bitch.
Give me $100, bitch.
Get out of your feelings, bitch.
Bet me $100 straight up, Slim, right now. Hey, either bet or shut the fuck up. Either bet or shut the fuck up.
Just like the Sam Smith lookalike that is.
Blah 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 blah. Bet or shut the fuck up.
Has Octavia
get on here, run your mouth like a bitch, and call people names. I think your team's fucking bad. Deal with it.
Yeah, has Octavian paid yet, Scott?
What's that? No, Octavian's not paid me. That's all right. I'm not, you know what? Octavian, I can give him my damn WhatsApp or whatever the hell he wants or whatever. But you come on and say we're going to get skull fucked by Alabama, and you don't want to back it up? Back it up, Slim. If you're going to say shit like that, back it up.
I didn't say that to you.
You just said it.
Like a bitch.
You just said it, you dipshit.
I said.
Oh, you are
retard.
You know what? The only retard here is you. You're the one that's got some tard in you. I think you got a lot of tard in you.
Names because your fucking sorry defense got their fucking ass whooped by Georgia Tech.
We didn't get our ass whipped, you dumbass. Do you remember the scoreboard? We won the fucking game, you dumb shit.
On you.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you? Because you don't have a winning team? Is that what it is? You got your poor little feelings all hurt, and you ain't got no winning team, and Georgia Tech beat your little ass? Is that what it is, Slim? Did you get your little ass whipped by Georgia Tech, Slim? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Slim. You got your ass whipped by Georgia Tech from a stupid-ass play from your coach. From your stupid-ass coach. Poor little Slim. Poor Slim. Someone get him a safe space and get him a support animal.
I don't need one. You're the one that come in here with your feelings hurt.
My feelings aren't hurt, Slim. I'm just telling the damn. Listen, I'm telling the truth. The truth. I'm the truth. I'm the truth seeker.
And your feelings.
Yabbity 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 yabbity.
Slim doesn't want to bet Scott.
I know he doesn't. He doesn't want to bet. Of course, he knows better to bet. He knows better that I will take $100 from his ass.
No, I was saying.
Scott, with the way you've come on here and acted, why would I bet anything?
No, I was saying that he.
Oh, stop it, Slim! You're the most immature little bitch I've ever talked to in my life.
Says the guy, come on here and start talking shit because your feelings are hurt.
I mean,
my feelings aren't hurt. The feelings aren't hurt.
Well,
I got remnants of COVID still in me.
Obvious your feelings are hurt.
Yeah, I mean that Slim doesn't want to bet you because he already lost a bet to CDOS. So.
Oh, that's right. He lost his bet to CDOS. Good, Vic. That is good. That is good, Vic.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Listen, I know you, Pete, you got to go. You know what?
Oh, God, I listen to this all fucking day.
I appreciate you. Slim, I still love you, okay? All right? Take care.
You can go fuck yourself, Scott. Okay. Come on here with your
okay, all right. I'll try to go do just that. I think I will go fuck myself a little bit later, okay? Thanks for
make you just like your fucking Kirby.
Thanks for thinking about me there, okay? Take care.
See you, Scott. Love you, man.
Wow.
That was fun.
That was awesome.
Welcome to the Midday Show, everybody. I know the first hour and 50 minutes of me droning on and on was boring as shit, but the last 10 minutes was gold.
Yes.
Yeah, the average bitch Alabama fan or Georgia fan pointing out what it is again.
Well, I mean, let me.
Softest fan base on the internet.
Yeah,
They think they're on Alabama's level, is what they think.
Well, yeah. Well, I can admit that yes, we did.
Yeah, well, I'll said half hour ago it's going to be a good game.
Yeah. And that changed when Scott came in here.
Well, unfortunately,
feelings are hurt. He'll be okay.
I do have to go, and plus, I can't top that anyway. So that's a literal showstopper right there.
I'm not taking it up.
I love you guys. I'll see you later,
man. Hell no, y'all. Not today.
See you later, Ballard. Oh wow. Well, thank you. I guess that's all. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Slim. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Vic.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, see you later, buddy. And of course, last but not least, thank you, Volusia. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, indeed. Yeah, we'll chat again soon.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I can bring it up to that level. It's been a while, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, I'm sure eventually.
We'll find true Seminole, and you can get it back to that level.
All right. Oh, well, yeah. Me and you could strike one up for old times, but
there you go. I think the Volusia and Slim feud happens more during the off season, so that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's not football. Slim and I agree on most football matters, footballically, as it were.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Y'all take care.
All right, see you later, man.
Yep.
All right, Slim. Be safe out there, man.
I was trying, boss.
All right. Talk to you later, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wow. That was great. A quick reminder before I do go, I will be back tonight at 10 p.m. on my channel, The Lunch Money Show, so tune in tonight. I believe Edward might be coming on. I don't know. He emailed me yesterday something about a link to his Rumble channel, but I got it 5 hours later. Anyway, that's not important. We'll go over the betting lines for the championship games and talk about some of the games from this past weekend. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you all that came on, and of course, thank you all to people in the chat for hanging out. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you tonight.